Welcome back, Pokénauts, to another adventure in the world of Pokemon Ore, where it's Pokemon Colosseum. The next thing that we've got to do is we've got to track down these missing Shadow Pokemans. I'm Andrew.
I'm Mike.
And now we're going to see if we can go into the lab.
But I just spent all day working in a lab. Oh look, it's the main gate key.
Wait, it's just called the main gate key?
Yes.
That's a really lame name for the key.
Should have named it the Don Quixote, or the Key Lime Pie, or the Ketone, or the... I'm running out of keywords. Keystone.
You're really sad that you have to go up to these things in the front.
I wish you could just get electrocuted.
That would sort of be funny.
Like an old...
In a dark humor kind of way.
Yeah.
Can we see behind here? No? Nope, can't see anything.
No, but I
We
can...
can see a little.
Yeah.
Eh.
Nope. But can we see why kids love Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
No, it's a mystery.
I think we're about to get attacked by Power Rangers. Just let me check the team.
Power Rangers? That's terrifying.
I remember them being around here. Oh, the shutter's locked.
Maybe the side door.
Okay. Oh,
Yay! Side door worked.
Oh, I guess there aren't any Power Rangers. Maybe it's the other game I'm thinking of.
There's another game with Power Rangers?
Yeah. Card
When I was a kid, there was a game on the Sega Genesis that
had Power Rangers?
I would play, and it was a Power Rangers game. Now, the Sega Genesis was tough because the Sega Genesis, you couldn't save your progress.
Oh no!
It's interesting to think about. So, I was listening to this one guy talk about his kid that he lets play video games, and
First mistake.
he tried to, teach his kid to appreciate games by having him play old games on like the NES kind of games, where you can't save and the other stuff.
And they're all super hard, and there's limited lives.
Yeah. So he had him play the Mario games. Then he realized that they give you the ability to rewind time.
Oh, yeah. In like emulators?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the kid just constantly rewinds things. So he's really concerned on the impact that this whole concept is having on this generation of children. That, don't worry, you can't screw up, you can just keep, you can just turn it back and everything you did will be fine, no harm done. Which, this has all been great that we've been able to make harder and harder games because of these save settings. But
I mean,
to some extent,
have to be hard too. Like,
no, not every game is hard. But we've sort of toned ourselves a little bit to, oh, it doesn't matter, just reset. You'll have all your progress and all your stuff.
But also, like, on the other side of the coin, concepts like lives in video games, they came from quarter munching in arcades. When you own the game, why should you have your tries limited?
You don't have your tries limited. You can try as many times as you want.
If you run out of lives, a lot of games you start from the beginning still.
Right, you start from the beginning. You haven't lost anything. In the arcade, you're putting in more quarters, not to gain more lives necessarily, but to play again.
To gain more tries at something that you kept on failing at.
Yeah, but you're trying again from the beginning. There's a difference to, I failed and I'm going to get back up and try it again, than I suffered an inconvenience, I'm going to reset it to the point where nothing happened and try it again.
So you're saying rewinding is too consequence-free?
I think in a lot of cases it is, and I worry that I agree with the guy, that we're setting ourselves up for a little bit of failure. Think about when you used to play Pokemon as a kid, right? When you blacked out, what happened?
I turned off the game. I saved before like every fight. And now you know why I'm like this.
Okay. Well, you'd lose some money, you'd scramble back to the Pokemon Center, and you'd get back on the horse.
Ponyta.
Sure. And that was what happened. So it was fine. You dealt with it. Kept going.
Because I was more of save scumming with legendaries. Now that I think about it.
I mean, everyone was doing that. That's not...
How does that separate that from losing in battles? It's too permanent of a consequence?
Well, the legendary, you'll never get the legendary again.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Forever.
That's how the game was designed to some degree. Is to allow that.
Yeah, even this game has that, I think.
Pretty much.
Yeah, not the legendaries, you can get them in separate, but I think some other of the shadow Pokemon you can miss permanently. I don't know why the stupid lab is bothering me, because it's a lot of weird backtracking. I guess not backtracking, but like that explosion inconvenience was just like a slight walk around. And then that key was just a slight walk around.
Well, what it is they call it poor level making.
Ah.
Because your level and your experience is about fetching.
Mm-hmm. It's fetch quest.
It's not storytelling, it's go there and fetch that, then come back and fetch that, and then fetch that.
Yeah. You talk to me, science person. Master,
Oh, we're not lab staff?
But look at our cool blue lab coat.
Yeah, clearly we're the best lab person.
Yeah. Bark, bark. This is my lab. And this is my laboratory.
Ah, he's got all electric types, I see.
Yeah, it's a good thing we
Power
have
his
popcorn out.
to power all the lab.
Yeah.
What's Popcorn's hidden power again?
Ghost.
Ghost? Okay.
I feel like Thunderbolt's more worth it.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? I guess I'm a scientist when it comes to favorite Pokemon types. I like electric and steel.
Maybe. What do you think the solution is to video games and the problem of the reset?
I don't know, I'm thinking about it right now.
I like the checkpoint system.
Checkpoints are good.
I think that you don't necessarily have to go purely back to the beginning. I think that the concept of you're taking a risk has value. So, nothing to talk about. I play RuneScape, right?
Yes.
And so, RuneScape originally had this thing where if you die, everything you have on you, you drop,
Yep.
right?
I remember that from when I played in like middle school.
So then slowly, they've tapered it back over the years.
Okay.
They've sent it so that...
You didn't see that!
I did.
Okay.
So then, slowly they've tapered it back over the years that it was, oh, you drop a gravestone. And if you have a certain kind of gravestone, then you have X amount of time to be able to retrieve your items.
Okay.
Then, it became, oh, you could, get your items back from death for a certain amount of money.
Real world money?
No.
Okay.
In-game. And you can carry money in a coin pouch on you with no matter how much you carry, you can't lose it if you die or whatever.
Okay.
It's a super protected coin pouch.
Jeff really doesn't like coin pouches. He's terrified of them.
Apparently.
He doesn't like the noise they make.
So, it's... You're about to hit with something.
I was hoping you wouldn't notice.
But it was just... It was convenient for those of us who, you know, didn't like taking risks. But I realize in hindsight that it's sort of, you know, it makes it so that people feel more comfortable fighting and losing against these really high-level bosses. Mm-hmm. But it also makes it so the whole risk that was there is mitigated to a large degree.
But here's the thing, I'm pro anti-frustration features in games. Like, I don't want things to become tedious ever. And so where's the line that you draw between risk and reward and preventing tedium?
Well, I think the line was at the gravestone.
Okay.
I think the 5-minute gravestone was one thing. Run back, get your stuff, whatever. But, you know, there is an argument to, oh, well then there was no cost to dying, because you'd run back to your gravestone.
Ah!
But there were certain places that you couldn't get your gravestone.
This guy came
So that
from
was the
ceiling.
whole point, was like, there's certain places you could die, and nothing you could do could save your stuff.
Is this evil Ambipom or Apom?
I think so.
Can I just kill it out of spite?
Sure.
Yes.
The only Pokemon I care about coming up, theoretically, is Vibrava. If you want Granbull, we can get Granbull, otherwise I don't really care.
Yeah, we should try something. You see, here's the problem. I'm bad because I'm like, oh gosh, I hate Apom. I'm like, but do I really want to not catch it? The answer is
The other
yes.
thing I've given some thought to
Yeah.
is I do like the concept of Nuzlocke. But I could not play one forcing myself by myself. Like,
Yeah.
it'd be very hard for me to say, I'm going to be disciplined enough to play this game as a Nuzlocke.
I wasn't. I tried that with Black 2. I don't think I ever told you the story. And
No.
I just instead gave each Pokemon a mark every time they fainted, and then eventually I gave up on giving them marks. So, I had like a weird team too. I don't think I actually finished that run. I had Snivy, I had Coughing. What else did I have on the team? Those are the only two I really remember. Oh good, Apom's gonna kill itself. Even better.
I thought you were doing some really hardcore planning to keep it alive. That was like
Nah,
its level.
I don't want it. It's literally useless. Remoraid, now that's a good Pokemon.
Yeah, unfortunately they didn't want you to have a good one. That's why they made it such a low level.
Yeah. Oh, Casform's cute.
Yeah.
What's the name of those weather dolls in Japan that they're based on?
I honestly don't know. All I know is that's a furry.
Yeah, I do like fur.
Yeah.
I was at
Japanese-
a... Oh, sorry.
No, go.
I was at a used game store and I saw the fur plushie there. That was just a thought.
I've noticed that Dobbs and Vinny aren't making videos together anymore.
Oh,
I wonder what happened.
something. I don't know.
I haven't really seen any videos from Dobbs though, so I'm not particularly sure. I'm subscribed to both of them.
You're also subscribed to me.
Yeah. But, you know.
But you know when I make videos.
Yeah, I know what's going on with that. There are two very popular Pokemon Let's Players, and they would play these Versus series together.
Yeah.
And it was very popular, and suddenly it stopped. And so, the fact that it stopped was jarring.
Maybe they ran out of Pokemon games. There's only so many of them.
Well, yeah, they ran out, and then they were gonna play some different kinds of modes.
Okay.
They had never played the fan games as Versus.
Huh?
Actually, they did the Uranium Nuzlocke Versus. Actually,
Oh,
that's where I got that idea. So I guess they did play one fan game.
there you go. Uranium was... Oh, jeez. Well, this guy's just a pain. Can't even knock out Popcorn Jr. though.
No, we're fine.
Yeah. I guess our levels are decent right now.
They nerfed self-destruct a lot.
Oh, they did. But even... This is before they nerfed it though, isn't it?
I thought it was most powerful in Gen 1.
Oh, it was probably most powerful in Gen 1. But I think they nerfed it like even further recently.
Oh, that's just sad.
Yeah. Heaven forbid that moves be fun.
Yeah, I love the concept that instead of it being self-destruct is a certain amount of damage, I would just like a one-for-one move.
Like Destiny Bond almost.
Yeah, but a true one-for-one. Just immediately, but here's the catch, it only works on as your first move.
Okay. I was gonna say, in competitive, people would hate that move.
Right.
You could just blow up an entire strategy that way.
Right, that's why it has to be that it can only be used if it's the first move.
That would still mess people up.
Why?
Because you're basically taking out a pairing. You're taking out one of the kind of synergy of their team.
Right, you have to be able to plan around that.
Yeah, I guess that's the whole metagame, isn't it? Is plans and counter plans and more counter plans.
Right, but every team has to plan for if a piece of the team goes down, what happens?
Yeah.
If your team is so reliant that if one member of the team goes down, it's over, how is that a good way to play?
I don't know.
Hyper potions would be better.
I guess we don't have more than 200 yet. Yeah. Wait, Watagashi should be cured because she's been switched out. Yeah. What happens if I do this? That's weird. I guess it has to be an active switch in battle.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, nobody's got time for that.
I would just paralyze heal.
Yeah, I didn't see we had the specific one. Do you mean Purr's heal? The only
Sure.
one that's written like that because of character limits? And they never
Character
changed.
limits in the original games.
Yeah. Oh, he found us, whoever this is. Corin!
That's good. He was able to find us by staying in one spot and doing nothing.
Yeah, it's an amazing trick. Enough with the electrodes and magnemites! You guys are worse than Team Rocket.
Just gotta get used to it.
Well, you know, I'm not using the... We don't have anyone to really beat down steel types very well.
Well, you're using an electric type to keep fighting electric types. It's fine.
It's the perfect strategy. Fire with fire, Andrew.
Where did you learn that?
Nowhere.
Nowhere? Oh, that's...
Oh my god.
So you're gonna switch him out for Espeon so that we can actually kill him in this?
Yeah, probably. Everyone's close enough in level.
Gonna switch popcorn for anybody?
Nah, popcorn's fine.
Okay.
Gotta take out that electrode. Ah, poor Kusha, falling behind.
Yeah, I don't know. This would be a good opportunity for him.
Is he though? Because steel resists dark back then. And his
What
electrode
about
should be
secret
dead.
power?
That's normal type.
Does it resist that too?
Steel resists normal.
Steel electrics too? Oh, interesting.
No, all steel
Is-
types.
Electrode isn't a steel type.
No, but he was getting killed by popcorn that turn. I'll put him up front after this. They're my good Magneton! It bothers me that Magneton isn't like connected at all in 3D stuff.
Do you think he should be?
Yeah, because that's how I always imagined it, more so as him clumped together. I know that hasn't always been canon, but it's what I always imagined as a kid. It'd be kind of like if Dugtrio could like go off in 3 different directions, it would bother me.
It can't?
It can't? I thought it couldn't. Can the 3 heads go different ways? They like separate from each other?
Now you're gonna have to figure that out.
That's so... I don't want to see that. I always imagine them as one connected creature.
Now you have to go watch all the anime episodes to find out.
No, I don't.
Just gonna use Google.
No, I'm not even gonna bother looking into it. I don't need to watch the Pokemon anime. Like, I get that there's good things, and what they've been doing with Sun and Moon moderately interests me, because they've been being, like, fast and loose kind of with the style.
With the Guardian Force stuff and everything. Not really being about gym battles, more concentrated in one location.
Well, I was talking more about, I guess...
Larger, expansive cast rather than a small group of people.
No, you're still not saying the thing I'm thinking of. I've
What?
seen, like, pictures of it, and, like...
What, you mean the art style?
Yeah, the art style. Like, there's some more creative freedom to it, some more fluidity, some more, like, you know, detailed, super detailed shots versus the normal shots kind of stuff, and I find that appealing. Kind of like... I guess I like it about Dr. Stone, too, is that it's not always the same generic style. They actually, like, tried things out. I like this kind of reaction shot kind of stuff where they put a bunch of stupid effort into, like, one frame to, like, show someone super serious or something really silly. So I appreciate that. It doesn't always work with Dr. Stone. Sometimes it's, like, really ugly and it's too far. But I appreciate the attempt. Oh jeez, more people from the ceiling.
Yep.
I'm not ready for ceiling people. Also, I didn't resurrect anyone.
Probably fine.
Yeah, what's the worst that could happen? Do we get Houndour?
Nope.
I want to use Houndour.
You get a Houndoom at the end of the game.
Along
Absolutely.
with Metagross and Tyranitar and...
Yep, everyone you could possibly want, too late to use.
That just makes me sad.
Yeah, it's absolutely terrible. It's very not fun. And that's one thing I've always sort of disliked about Pokemon, is they wait till the very end to give you the Pokemon you actually want to use. I'm not saying give you all the legendaries at the beginning of the game.
No, but more fun Pokemon. Pokemon that grow different ways. Pokemon that get interesting types.
Pokemon that you actually want to have at the end game.
Oh, we're out of Thunderbolts. It's a good thing we have Hidden Power, which is not very
Hit
effective.
power against Nuzleaf, isn't it?
He's Dark Grass.
Oh.
This is Ghost, so it's not very effective.
Oh, I keep forgetting. Isn't Carvana dark, or is he
Yes.
water?
He's Water Dark. It's all dark types.
What moves do we have on him? We have.
Light
What moves
Screen, Thunder Wave, Thunderbolt.
Why did we get rid of the other electric move for Light Screen?
I don't know. Oh, it's a Murkrow. So I can at least paralyze it.
Do you want it?
More so than Apom. And this is the challenge in the game, is trying to catch him.
Okay.
Apom I didn't bother trying to beat him.
Why do you hate Apom so much? Is there something that happened?
Ugly face, really. Like, I just don't care for the way it looks. I don't really care for monkeys in general. Like, I don't like the elemental monkey Pokemon either. Or those two monkeys that are in, like, the lush jungle. I can't even remember their names. Passimian and the orangutan one.
Okay. Interesting.
I just don't like monkeys in general. I'm fine with Mankey and Primate, though. I guess because they're pretty cartoony. I'm not sure what move to use here.
Dragon Dance?
I guess that is a move I could use here.
We haven't danced the dragon in a while. Dance the dragon. Dance the dragon. Dragon Ball Dragon. Yeah.
There you go. I guess the only Pokemon I have a more kind of odd, visceral dislike of is Durant, and that's because ants are awful and I hate them.
Did you have a bad experience with ants?
Just them getting into your room, getting in your food, getting everywhere. Big crunchy ones, the little ones, I just don't like it.
Fur might do well here.
The Mike Kusha?
Fur it. You might be able to do some damage.
Alright. Perfect, it's your chance to shine, Noodle.
It's time to get some damage out of it.
Yeah. Can't really do much else, although Hidden Power shouldn't do much.
No, it's not. That's why Quick Attack's probably good here.
Yeah. We should have kept on training the Noodle.
Well, no, if we trained him too much, then his attacks would be too powerful.
Ah. He's a limp.
Remember, he was too powerful to be part of the team.
Right, that's why we stopped training him.
Exactly, he's too powerful. His power grew so great that there was a worry that he may need to give us helping hands.
Yeah. He's just being modest.
Is he modest nature?
No, I think he was plus speed minus something else.
Oh. The comment would have been more exciting.
Yeah. I'd be upset if he was modest, because that wouldn't be a good nature for his attacking stats.
Wow, that resist.
Yeah. No, not Thunderwave. Man, let's chuck some stuff at it.
Sure.
It doesn't deserve an Ultra Ball, though.
Ah. You're judging it because of its hat?
Because it can't evolve and has those stats.
Because of its hat. I understand.
I like the hat.
Huh.
I
You
like
look down on it because of its hat.
No! I like Murkrow.
Really?
Yeah.
You like Murkrow better than Honchkrow?
Honchkrow's fine. I like what they tried to do with it. I don't have any particular feelings for it, I guess, in comparison. Can I catch it when it's flying?
I don't know. It's worth finding out.
Oh, you can. I thought you wouldn't be able to. I thought you'd be like, oh, there's no Pokemon to target.
Oh, it landed just so you could try to catch it.
How nice of it.
It was very considerate of Murkrow.
Oh, okay. This Murkrow
Oh wow, and then it bounced into the air. Did you see that? Landed on the ground, went up.
Yeah.
So, I was reading some Star Wars fan fiction the other night. Actually, kept me up to 3 in the morning. What?
No, continue, sorry.
Actually kept me up till about 3 in the morning.
Wow, an exciting
And
thing.
I was, reading it, and I've started to think this for a while about Star Wars fan fiction. It seems like a lot of the modern writers are not using EU characters.
I thought they got rid of the EU. Is that
Disney got rid of it.
Yeah.
But I can't tell whether its fans are not using the EU characters because they want to try to stay accurate to the canon when writing their fan fiction.
That doesn't seem like a thing fanfiction writers do here, right?
Whoa, you'd be surprised, Mike. As when I was younger, this is a little unbelievable in Naruto fan fiction actually. But when I was very young, I would read, like 2006 to 2010, I'd read any Naruto story that came across. Didn't matter if it was, new and it followed the canon, or it was older and it completely deviated from canon, and it was just interesting and different. And from about 2010 till 2013, so most of the time that we were in college,
Okay.
I was very ardent when reading fan fiction. At the time, I only read Naruto and Harry Potter fan fiction. It took me a while to start reading other fan fictions. It probably happened late in college. But
Oh, thank goodness. Sorry, the Murkrow was a pain in the butt.
I was pretty ardent that the story had to follow the main canon. Like, I wouldn't read Harry Potter fan fictions that were written before the 6th book came out.
Okay.
I wouldn't read Naruto fan fictions that weren't, updated fairly recently to the point where they were keeping with his modern attacks and modern fighting style and
Right,
all
I
the
was
rest.
gonna say, you had a problem with that with just fighting games, too. Like, if they're not using all their latest skills in the manga, you don't want to play it because it'll agitate you.
Yeah, exactly. So that happened with stories, and it really limited what I was willing and able to read, which was fairly sad. Once I broke through that barrier, I enjoyed so many greatly written stories, prospectively, that I would not have had access to if I was so stuck in how it was written.
Yes.
And so the Star Wars fan fictions I was reading last night, I realized I have walled myself into the opposite now.
Okay.
I have no interest in reading newer Star Wars fan fictions that only use the modern characters.
Yeah, well, I mean, that kind of makes sense with how things are with Star Wars now, right? I don't know how much...
Yeah, but it's also sad, because I look at the aspect that here I was cutting myself off from all these stories because I didn't like how they were using the characters. And here I am cutting myself from all these stories because I don't like how they're using the characters.
Mm-hmm. I get it.
And I look at it
That's not the right word.
from the perspective of, oh, well, am I just doing the same thing? I don't know.
Okay.
Shouldn't I give some of these Rey and Ben stories a chance? You know, if I'm so excited to read a Luke Mara story, I'm willing to read an Anakin Padme story, why am I unwilling to read a Ben Rey story?
I don't even know who these characters are at this point.
Well, it's at the end of the day, what I'm talking about doesn't really matter about the characters. It's more the core concept. Star Wars is just a vehicle for it.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Should always be open-minded.
But, you know, there's also the farther vein of I'm not reading Twilight stories. It's just not happening.
Yeah. It's okay to have preferences. / standards, in this case.
But, you know. And so the question is, are the Ben Rey stories the Twilights of the world? Or am I holding myself back and I need to try to figure that out? I've not yet come across one of the authors that I've read their other pieces and they've written a Ben Rey story. And that's how I came across a lot of the other genres. Is that I would have an author, I'd read one of their stories, and I'd go onto their page and see, oh, they've written this other story. Oh, it's something odd. Well, I'll read it anyway. You know, there's actually anime that I didn't watch until I read a crossover fanfiction.
I mean, fanfic writers would be happy to hear that.
You know, I never watched a single episode of Game of Thrones until I started reading Harry Potter Game of Thrones crossovers.
Right, and you can talk my ear off about Game of Thrones despite...
Right, now I read tons of Game of Thrones fanfictions. I must read more Game of Thrones fanfictions right now than anything else, to be perfectly honest.
And you're probably the least disappointed Game of Thrones fan.
That's not true. I was very disappointed.
Okay.
But, regardless, it's just a very weird circumstance, like RWBY. I would know nothing about it if it wasn't for crossovers.
Oh, Ruby?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't checked that out just because I don't know how to put it.
I watched it, but I've read so much wiki, I know most of the plot.
I'm trying to think of a phrase of why I've never tried it. I had one friend who wanted me to take a look at it, and I didn't.
I would watch it with you if you want.
I'm trying to phrase of why I never wanted to try it.
It's just not... The way the story goes is not my general story preference.
Okay.
Like... So, in One Piece, the main characters feel like there's a big world out there, and the characters are not very powerful in the scope of it. But you never feel like it's hopeless for them, generally. There's been like 1 or 2 or 3 circumstances where it's been hopeless for the One Piece characters, but I feel like so much of RWBY for me is feeling like the heroes can't do it. That it's almost disappointing.
Like, literally the only thing I've seen is so this is basically RWBY.
What does that have?
It's like a summary of the series. I showed you the My Hero Academia one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me about the one for RWBY.
It talks mainly about how the plot doesn't make any sense, how things are magic but not really magic.
Well, I think he hasn't read enough of the lore. It's a very lore, world-centric series.
Yeah, you need to do your homework to watch this series.
Well, no, you have to let it build over time. The problem is the author is not a great storyteller, in my opinion, as the original author was. And even then, the original author, in my opinion, is not as good as Oda. Think about how Oda's sort of formed a cult around One Piece and information. I watched a great YouTube review on this the other day. When it was actually that guy who, Nutaku or whatever, who talks about the 10 greatest, whatever it's called.
Oh, okay, I know who you mean now.
Yeah.
The White Knight guy.
Yes, so he is talking about how the newspaper in One Piece is this great vehicle. And how Oda has created it as this great vehicle that One Piece fans, you know, in normal stories, you reveal this piece of plot and, you know, everyone is like, you're just throwing information at me. Why you just so much exposition.
Yes.
Whereas whenever in One Piece there's information revealed about the world, everyone's like, oh my god, it's incredible.
Okay.
We're super happy to find it out. Like, they just revealed Whitebeard and Roger's bounties.
Okay.
And all the other Yonkos. And it's like, oh my god, this is incredible, so great. Oh, we got the history of Big Mom and Whitebeard and Kaido were all in the same crew. And that crew was led by this guy, and he fought Garp and Roger together, and that's when Garp became Garp the hero, as he beat the Rock Pirates and got all the credit for fighting them with Roger. And you're like, wow, oh my god, this is incredible history. It's a whole chapter just about the past Marine Admiral, just talking about things. It's a whole chapter. No progression whatsoever. Pure exposition. But we were all like, oh my god, this is the greatest chapter ever. And that's because of... You're purely going after the Ariados?
Yeah, I caught the other one so easily. I want to try to catch the Ariados just as easily.
Oh, I thought you used Thunderbolt.
Oh, no, I wouldn't.
I was like, that thing's gonna die.
I mean, I like Spinrack way more than Ariados. Oh, poor Popcorn.
I don't really have a strong feeling either way. But, I think Oda's done such a good job of giving us just enough information about the world to where everyone just wants to know more. I feel like RWBY is not like that. Most people aren't like, I want to know more!
I can believe that from how little I know about it.
What?
I can believe that even with how little I know about it.
Whereas the world is designed to be like that. It's designed to be, I want to know more. Like, there's the mystery of the 4 season things. And there's the mystery of Salem. And the mystery of all these weapons that are the items of these 4 girl things. And they've revealed, like, the history behind all of it and why there's no magic. Do you care? Do you want me to talk about it?
Oh, you can talk about it. I will probably never watch it /
okay. So, the concept is that long time ago there was these 2 gods. There's basically this god of light and god of darkness, right? And so they create this planet, and they create life on it, and eventually humanity springs up and all the rest of it. And magic is prevalent everywhere. It's a world of magic. And the, one day, this woman, Salem, is with her husband, and the husband is the principal of the school in the original thing. Basically, he's stuck forever reincarnating. And so in this original world, they were husband and wife, and they had 4 daughters, and he ends up dying somehow. So she goes to the gods and is like, look, you know, I think he ends up dying in a war or something. And so she goes to the gods and is like, look, bring him back, please, I'll do anything, whatever. So essentially they go, well, whatever, we don't care. You're stupid, humanity's stupid, not doing anything. And they give her immortality, and they make the husband reincarnate.
Wait, isn't that what they did in Whatchahui? 7 Deadly Sins?
Yeah, essentially.
Okay.
And so so she says, well, for you guys, I don't know, that might have still been worth some dolphins, who knows?
I'll throw some in for fun.
Yeah. So she says that, and she goes and gets an army of all of humanity to go and fight against these gods. And so all of humanity and all the magic come and they try to fight them, and of course they lose. And so Pokenuts, maybe I'll tell you next time what happens on RWBY, or maybe you'll find out for yourselves. But we'll see you next time with our DNA sample. DNA, DNA, because it's DNA. DNA, NA, NA.